Let's move on now to the Washington Commanders rookie preview, where Ryan and I, we break down the one rookie that's going to have the biggest impact on the Commanders 2023 season. But before we do that, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified when Ryan and I create new content. We are trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the start of the NFL season, which is September 7th. And we are just over about 150 away now up to this point. We have a bunch more content coming out up to the start of the season. And also when we start the season, we will be having a fun season-long little brotherly competition where we will predict every single game and see who is right at the end. So if you want to see those videos, see who we predict for each and every game, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. And Ryan, let's get into it here. So the Commanders are, unfortunately, the worst team in the best division in a very weak NFC. In any other division, I would honestly say they have a good chance of winning the division.
Or at least competing for it.
At least competing. But now I just don't see – I can definitely see this team making the playoffs, but I just don't see them being better than the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all at the same time.
Yeah.
The biggest reasons for that is because of their secondary. And actually, every other aspect of their team outside of the quarterback, which has a question mark. But secondary was their weakest point last year.
Yeah.
And they addressed that immediately with the first two picks, Emmanuel Forbes in the first round and Tracy Martin in the second round. And that's why for this video, Emmanuel Forbes to me, I think is one of the biggest rookie is that it's not the biggest impact on the team in the 2023 season because the Commanders need to improve their secondary. Yeah. They have a great front seven, but their secondary has been kind of their Achilles heel, especially last year.
Yeah. No, and he was definitely one of the top corners in the draft. He had a pretty good game against Devontae Smith 2 seasons ago. And then I think he had, 13 career interceptions, which is like the most in SEC history. So, he's a very good ball-hawking corner. I think he fits the aggressiveness style of this defense. He did have a little bit of an injury scare in camp, so he is kind of taking things easy. But I think in terms of overall impact that a rookie could have on this team, he's the one that, to me, could really make this defense go from good to great and help compete against a lot of those really solid teams in this division.
Well, and they're the classic case of a team who – they don't need to have an elite secondary. It's they just need to be average. And one of the things noticing now, too, is so Kendall Fuller, they drafted him in 2016, but everybody else is still on their rookie contracts. They have Cameron Curl was drafted in the 7th round of 2020, so he's coming up in his final year if he hasn't already received an extension. And then Derek Forrest and then Benjamin St-Juste were both drafted in the 2021 draft. So it's a very young secondary, still growing. But you're right. If Forbes can step up and already be one of the better guys as these guys also keep improving as they're starting to hit their prime.
Yeah.
And then you combine that with this front seven, this defense could be deadly. And then really, honestly, the only question mark that leaves for this team is just going to be Sam Howell at quarterback. And see if he could just manage games, don't turn the ball over, because I think that this defense will be able to stop a lot of offenses, including all the teams in the NFC East.
Yeah, no, this front seven is just absolutely ridiculous. Jonathan Allen, he was he the one that got the extension?
Deron Payne.
Deron Payne, yeah. And then Chase Young should be coming back as well, and so this defense should be really good. This secondary is just kind of what's holding them back, like you said. Yeah. And if Emmanuel Forbes can come in, he's going to get plenty of PT. So,
yeah. Well, they have with this defense, they have Emmanuel Forbes, the 6th first-round pick. That's on the starting line of this defense.
Yeah,
4 of them are all on the defensive line. So that's right. There's so much talent on this defense. They just need to be able to piece it together. And I think if Forbes can come in, step up, he's going to have some bumps in the road. But then with the reports coming out with how hard Bieniemy is pushing this offense, I like actually reading that because if they're saying this guy's made too hard, it's now that means that the last guy was just extremely soft. And they're not used to this. And it's only going to improve that offense, I think, coming into the season. So I think the Commanders' offense is going to be putting up points. I think their defense is going to be tough to score on. But it's really going to be tough to score on just so that secondary can just keep improving, and it's really going to center around Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, no, definitely. And he's going to have a lot of help with that front seven. So I like his ability to come in. I think he'll definitely get a lot of opportunities at some interceptions, especially when they play out of division games, because Let's face it, that division is one of the toughest in football, if not the toughest at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to watch.
Do you know what the average weight is for a corner? Because that's one
probably like 188, 195, like 185 to 195 pounds.
Oh, okay. Well, because he's a very lean build.
Yeah, he was like 168. I think.
Oh, it says here. I thought it just said 180, but 6'1", 180, and I agree with you. I think that's a bulky 180. But so that's my one concern when you're going up against guys like if he's lined up against AJ Brown, who is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I think AJ Brown might have 20. No, he might have like 40 pounds on him.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious. It'll be curious to see just the longevity. But hey, at the same time, though, that's the same thing they said about Devontae Smith, and he's had 2 really good years. So
that's fair.
Like, take all that with a grain of salt. But that's just initially just kind of as he comes into his rookie year. So I hope he does well. I hope the Commanders do great until they play the Falcons in the NFC Championship, and then they don't know how to play defense again. But that's neither here nor there. So.
Yeah, and probably won't happen. But let's go ahead and wrap up this video there. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who your favorite Commanders rookie is going to be to watch in 2023. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.